Minnesota Vikings, are you ready for a big twist? Because if this move happens, it could completely change the game for this franchise. The offensive line has been a problem for a long time, and now the chance to solve this issue once and for all has emerged. We're talking about a player who has been a true pillar of consistency, a guy who simply doesn't leave the field. But will the Vikings be able to bring this talent to Minnesota? And more importantly, is it worth the price that will be asked? Let's dive deep into this possibility right now. The Minnesota Vikings have a major problem on the offensive line, and the offseason brings an opportunity that cannot be wasted. The name in question? Trey Smith, the guard from the Kansas City Chiefs. This guy has been a monster in pocket protection and in creating space for the ground game, and Minnesota needs exactly that. With 79 starts out of 80 possible and over 5,200 snaps played, Smith is not just a good player. He is an anchor on the offensive line. And now, as he enters free agency, there is a real chance he could wear purple and gold next season. The problem? The price. We're talking about a contract estimated at $20 million per year, placing Smith among the highest-paid guards in the league. This means that if the Vikings want to bring him in, some tough decisions will have to be made. Letting Sam Darnold go and betting on a young quarterback could be the way to free up budget space. But will the franchise have the courage to make this heavy investment in the offensive line? Or will they once again rely on temporary and cheap solutions? The Minnesota fan base has seen this movie before and knows that the outcome is never good. Now let's be honest, the Vikings cannot afford to mess this up. The offensive line has been a problem for years, and if the franchise truly wants to compete in the NFC, it needs to protect the quarterback and establish a solid ground game. Trey Smith is one of those players who can change a team's dynamics. Kansas City knows this. That's why he has been one of the pillars of the Chiefs' recent dynasty. If the Vikings want to move out of mediocrity and truly enter the playoff race and beyond, a move like this is essential. But here's the dilemma. Will the front office have the guts to make this investment? Because if they think they're going to solve the offensive line problem with cheap solutions, they can forget it. Vikings, do you want to win now or continue in mediocrity? Now, I want to hear from you, Vikings fans. What do you think about this possibility? Is it worth paying $20 million a year for one of the best guards in the league? Or should the Vikings look for another solution? Leave your comments below. I want to see what you think about this. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now so you don't miss any explosive updates about the Minnesota Vikings. Because this offseason is going to be hot, and you won't want to be left out of this conversation.